Yes, but no, magic doesn't have a moment of arising, any more than an archetype is inherently seated in these images here of the tarot. That's not the case. I would say magic has to do with our ability to give form to our perceptions that are also in line with what we expect. Now, when it becomes interesting is at this moment when we interrogate what exactly it is that we expect. So I would say that if I am to apply any kind of magical working to my own life through the cards, through trafficking with spirits or whatever, I would simply look at what my highest aspiration is in this sense, as it relates to my expectations. Yeah. So say if I'm not invested in going for power, for fame, for wealth, money, whatever, then I would say that I would be invested in being able to get out of myself, get out of this world of symbolism, get out of cultural dictations, get out of preconditioning. How we go outside of constantly making identifications, one-on-one identifications. I can take this flower here. That's full of magic. That's magic already. This is all a magical world, right? But others, for instance, have decided that they can just make a one-to-one correlation and say, this flower here stands for the Empress. Yeah, so what? Identifications, archetypal, engaging with the world on an archetypal basis, that can be very useful for about 5 minutes. When we just think about what we can do right here and right now, then it becomes a question of how we actually respond to this world. On what premise do we do that? So magic, in this sense, acquires a form that has direction. If that wasn't the case, then we would just be walking around being unawares, undiscerning. Well, and I don't know what can we use that for? That's the question. At the same time, maybe I'm talking nonsense. maybe what we want is to simply just take this pack of cards and then shuffle it and then see what they say. How we can talk about the cards going against this notion that magic somehow has to do with the moment of arising. I mean, arising out of what? Arising where? Right. Oh, well, maybe I'm not talking any nonsense. So there you have it. Incredible, isn't it? Yeah, this is us in that state of undiscerning lunacy, carrying with us all our weight pathologies. How we go from this to controlling our mental insanity, yeah. As far as I'm concerned, the Fool is all about that, being quite unstable. So maybe indeed magic has to do with what we can say about that, about getting outside of even this state where we are in a constant moment of bewilderment. Everything is holy, everything is awesome. Maybe that is so, but does it go anywhere? So, good luck with being in the world, acting alongside with other people. I mean, perhaps this notion that everything is holy might work for some tantric practitioner, crazy wisdom tantric practitioner or whatever. And with all due respect for those types, the reality is that they are not like reliable. You can't have a relationship with them. So what do we do when we just want to maintain our sense of being in the world, and then operate through what others would call a magical current. Yeah. So I would say that what we do is exactly this: take stock of the ways in which we can control our pathologies.